To have more, you simply have to become more.
Just remember that no man has ever earned a name worth having without it.
Courage.
If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside.
You're going to run into challenges in life, and if you curl up into a ball and complain about it, that's not going to help you. And if you say, okay, cool, good, here's some adjustments I can make to move forward, that's going to be a better move than cowering.
People go, man, you have such a strong will. It's something that you build. The hell are you talking about? I was blessed with a strong mind. That's something that you have to develop. You develop that over years, decades of suffering and going back into the suffer.
Successful people are not that smart. They're not smarter than everybody else. Whatever success means to you, whether that's great parents or whether that's tons of money or whether it's great business owners or the happiest people you can find, whatever success means to you, successful people are the most consistent people. They're not smarter. They don't have better willpower most of the time. They've just decided to be consistent. They wake up every single day and they do the things that they need to do in order to get them from where they are to where they want to be.
What stupid thing am I doing that I could quit doing? That I would quit doing? Because those aren't the same thing, right? Because you know there's stupid things that you're doing that you're just not going to quit doing because you like them. But there might be something on the edge there where you could stop that.
Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
After this huge big build-up with his kids and his wife, steps out onto the balcony of this holiday that he'd taken, and his first thought was, wow, it would be so good if we could come back here next year. That was like during the process of experiencing the thing, he was thinking about the next thing. And he caught himself and thought, okay, this means that success isn't a goal, a journey, or a destination. When you get it wrong, it's a horizon. Every single step that you take towards it, it runs one step further away.
Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Start working on yourself, making these personal changes, and he said it'll all change for you. So let's talk a little bit about personal development, that extraordinary adventure I undertook starting at age 25. And I've never ceased that adventure. I'm still going for it. In the 90s, I want to get better and better. I want my craft to get better, my business operations to get better, the things I do to get better. Because once I picked up this simple formula, I'm telling you, it's easy to figure out where the problem is if you go to work on it.
Alex Hormozi is the guy that I think taught me most about nudging your view of activation energy from just being something which has to be positive sum to being able to use something which is actually a really negative fuel source to kick you out of the bottom. So his idea is people need some sort of motivation, some sort of justification to make changes. Most people have way more pain than they do pleasure. Use what you have.
Right.
Now, let's talk about personal development. And in helping kids understand personal development, I always start with money. Now, money's not the only place to start. Money certainly isn't the only value, but we've all got to start somewhere, and money's something you can count, right? Kids are interested in money, okay? A lot of things are a little tougher to measure, but economics is pretty easy, right? Because you can count. Okay, somebody says, how are you doing? You say, I don't know. Let's count. Now, this is not the only count. I understand that. There's a lot of other things to count. But to see if there may be some errors in your judgment and lack of disciplines in your life, we might as well start with money, because it's so easy to count. So let's just start there and see whether or not maybe we have messed up. Okay. So here's how I explain it to kids. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. Key to understanding economics. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace.
See, when you're prepared, when you've trained for something, you now know what's in store. Suffering is a byproduct of the unknown. And that's why we will project out into the future and go, what if?
it takes time to bring value to the marketplace, but we don't get paid for time. It's very important for kids to understand, as well as adults. We don't get paid for time. Mistakenly, the man says, well, I'm making about $20 for an hour. Not true. Not true. If that was true, you could just stay home, have them send your money. No, it's not true. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you put in the time. So we don't get paid for time, we get paid for value.
Why is it that when some people walk in a room, we all brighten up? Why is it when you really want advice, you call certain people? Why is it that some people you never would question what they say, and that some people you never would trust what they say? And those are emotional skills and empathy, but you're a human being. You have these other things that we all have to develop all the time and work at them all the time. And they're things like passion, work ethic, character, integrity, and you're the sum of all of these things. Your IQ alone will not get you through the dark days or the tough times. You need to develop all these things, develop them consistently.
Now, since that's true, here's one of the key questions of the afternoon. Is it possible to become twice as valuable and make twice as much money in the same time? Is it possible to become 3 times as valuable as you now are and make 3 times as much money in the same time? Is that possible? Of course. If you want to really emphasize something, that's a good phrase for it. Of course.
That the credit does not go to the critic in the stand. It goes to the person on the field, bloodied and bruised, striving to achieve something.
Of course. Okay. Now, all you have to do to earn more money in the same time is simply become more valuable.
When you fail, it's okay to get depressed. It's okay to cry. It's okay to go home. It's okay to blame others for a while. But eventually, you have to get over it and move on.
Reality is, if you're not very valuable, you don't get much money. Those are called the facts. I mean, that's how that is. Well, then how do you get more money? Simple answer. Somebody says, well, I'll go on strike for more. Well, here's a major problem with that. Here's a major problem with that. You can't get rich by demand.
Take care of yourself, your family, and your friends. You're going to get involved in very high, stressful situations. If you don't take care of yourself physically and emotionally, you will fail.
Shoaff said, here's the secret, Mr. Rohn. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Once I got that, it turned my life around. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
You had better be a little tough in this world of ours, because you will be criticized when you take jobs of leadership, and almost any job. And so you have to grow a little bit of a thick skin.
Who wants to be king?
When you have a dream to achieve big things, you need to be more effective.
You've got to develop a sense of urgency. Aurelius said, stop living your life like you have 1,000 years to live. In life, you're either here today and you're gone today. If there's something that you want to do and you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. I like what Robert Schuller says. He said, by the yard it's hard, but inch by inch, anything is a cinch.
When you find that sense of purpose, when you find what I call your life's task, everything has a direction, everything has a purpose, your energy is concentrated. It's not like you're just going down a single narrow pathway. It's not like life becomes boring and it's just about discipline and solving problems. It's actually the most exciting thing that can ever happen to you, because you never have that lost feeling. You wake up in the morning and you go, yeah, this is what I need to accomplish. People come at you with all kinds of distractions and boring and irritating things. You're able to cut it out. It's just the most marvelous piece of internal radar that you can have.
Honor yourself as your word. Don't give your word out lightly. When you throw your word out there and you don't honor it, it makes a statement about you. If you decide to maintain a sense of integrity with yourself, that if I speak it, I'm going to live it. It's who I am. And I'm going to be very cautious in how I give my word to others, and most of all with the commitments that I make to myself.
Right. But I'll never remember, like, you know, being a teenager, walking past a newsstand and seeing that magazine and then reading inside the stories of entrepreneurs that looked like me.
Wow.
That had grown $100 million companies, billion-dollar companies, and just creating a link that, hey, guess what? If they did it, I can too.
I love that.
And I still didn't know how, but sometimes before you know how, you just have to know that it's possible. Then once I know that it's possible, I can figure out how and the steps to actually do it.
It's hard, like, and it's not unless you walk the journey, right? It's when you are in it that you're like, why don't they get it? Yeah, the world they're losing their minds. Have you ever seen something that nobody else sees, but you know it's there because you can see it? You're like, nah, and you explain it, but they don't see it, right? And in that, the only thing that keeps you sane is if the only affirmation you need is you.
And what I tell people all the time, a lot of people can't get started in their first 90 days because they're stuck in perfectionist mode.
That's right.
And I tell, like if you put me against perfectionist, I can be the perfectionist any day of the week.
Yes, sir.
Because things will never be perfect.
Yes, sir. I like
trying to get the first perfect article. And that perfectionism never happens, and it hinders too many entrepreneurs from really growing to the stage that they should.
So much of what we think we're doing ourselves is being shifted by the outside world. So I say prime yourself. The same thing happens with creativity tests showing you IBM and Apple. Seeing those, that's all you got to do before the test. The ones that see the Apple commercial or even the logo, because Apple commercial was Think Differently, scored 22% higher in the creativity test.
I don't know if self-esteem is the answer. You know, I don't think it's bad to be hard on yourself, as long as you also celebrate when the victories happen. But I think it's more important is to realize that self-esteem is earned. It's only earned by you with yourself. Self-esteem comes from doing incredibly difficult things where you know you pushed yourself. It's not virtue signaling. It's not telling people about it. It's what you know inside your soul is true. And the more you do things that are incredibly difficult, and especially things that are meaningful, meaning they're not just about yourself, the higher that esteem would be.
Maybe if life is all about being hard, we have to choose our hard. Do you want the hard of regret when you're older and you're on your deathbed and regretting the opportunities you didn't take, the risks you didn't take, the experiences you didn't have? Or do you want the hard of each time you took those risks and opportunities and had those experiences? Yeah, they were overwhelming. Yeah, they were hard. Yeah, it freaked you out, but it ended up making you a better human.
What I tell people is the best advice that I've ever heard, the best advice I ever came up with, is that live your life like you're the hero in your movie. And right now is when the fucking movie starts and your life is a shitbag disaster. Pretend you are, right now, you are in the part of the movie that starts and it shows you as a fucking loser. And just decide not to be a loser anymore. Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride.
Lift weights, do jiu-jitsu, go for runs, stretch out, eat good, stop drinking. It's pretty straightforward. If you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. Every day that you don't do work, you're going backwards, and it definitely will hurt you, and it'll show up.
It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do now? And I say to you, you're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. You can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you. I learned all of it. So that's why I do a training called Focus on the Seller. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
There's this huge time delay between when we start behaving in a way that a winner behaves and when we start winning. And the problem is that the bigger the mountain you're trying to climb, the bigger the W you're trying to get. Typically, the more delayed it is
Longer
between
the lag.
Yeah, between when you start behaving like a winner and when you start being a winner. And most people don't get the fast enough feedback loop to know that they're on the right path. With that really big goal comes the even longer delay that it takes to get there, while still continuing to act with no feedback from society.
No positive reinforcement
whatsoever.
The ethic of work. And I dedicate all my life on that because I know I can prove year by year the longevity speaks for itself. I still play in high level.
I'm going to make it. Some people aren't waiting to be cut. Some people are moving on their own because they feel within themselves, I've got what it takes to make it. They're not afraid about tomorrow because of how they see themselves, because of what they feel that they deserve, because of what they feel that they can create for themselves. Because these people have decided, as they look at the future, as they look at themselves, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way for me to begin to create a way out of no way. And when you have that kind of consciousness, when you have that kind of spirit, nothing can stop you. Whatever challenges or difficulty that it is, you got to handle it. Got to go up in there and wrestle with it. Will it be easy? No. Will it be challenging? Yes. It's going to kick your butt? Yes, it is. Are you going to want to die? Yes, that's a part of it. But that's just what you must go through in order to get where you want to go. And guess what? You are strong enough to do it. You've got to have that kind of courage, that type of determination. If you want to make it happen, it's you. That you've got to take personal responsibility to make it happen. That you have got to own what it is that you want to do. If it's just to take yourself to another level, it's you. You've got to make that happen. We can point out many things that can make it inconvenient or can slow us down. But ultimately, it's on us.
If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more. And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
Just want to keep busy and keep active and be interested in what I do, and that's all there is to life as far as I'm concerned. I really am not looking to make tremendous amounts of money. I'm looking to enjoy my life, and if that happens to go with it, that's fabulous.
If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more. And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
Just want to keep busy and keep active and be interested in what I do, and that's all there is to life as far as I'm concerned. I really am not looking to make tremendous amounts of money. I'm looking to enjoy my life, and if that happens to go with it, that's fabulous.
Purpose is determined. Nobody can break up with you and cause the purpose of God for your life to be interrupted. Nobody can fire you and interrupt the purpose of God. There is no stopping what God has started until it is complete. He will see it through. It's called purpose, and it always prevails.
What got me to where I am and where I continue to go and where I will continue to go is an insane work ethic.
Yes.
And it's an insane work ethic that you can only put in that amount of work if you were doing something that you are passionate about. And that's what I have engaged my entire life's work in, things that I am passionate about. Yes. You cannot fully commit to something if you are not passionate about it. So you must look at your surroundings, at the things you are involved in, and ask yourself, are you truly passionate about these things? Do you truly want to put every ounce of your being into these things?
When you're nothing, and change yourself into something like me, you call it happiness, peace, whatever the fuck you want to call it. People are missing exactly what went on with David Goggins. Why don't you smile? I do. But I figured something out. That's why you'll never hear me say I'm missing something. I found it years ago. You find it in the suck. You find it in the suck, and you find it repeatedly in the suck, to the point where you know exactly who you are. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are.
The only person who can judge you on your success is you, because you're the only one who knows how much left in the tank you really had. And the better you get, and you can resonate with this, you start winning exteriorly. And that's when people are like, it felt so empty. It's because they didn't actually work as hard as they could have. They just worked hard enough to beat everyone else. But that discrepancy between how hard you could have worked to work your hardest versus what was required in order to win, to me, that's the opportunity that shifting towards the work being the goal unlocks for you. And I work harder now than I did when I was poor. And I think it's because I've learned.
It's from the uphill climb that we derive our value, and I mean this technically. So almost all the positive emotion we feel, especially the emotion that fills us with enthusiasm, and that's experienced in relationship to a goal. And so in some sense, you want a goal that you can never attain. So you can always move closer to the goal that recedes as you move towards it. You think, well, that's frustrating. It's like Sisyphus pushing the rock uphill. But it's not, because as you pursue that goal, you put yourself together and your life does get better and richer and more abundant. What stupid thing am I doing that I could quit doing? That I would quit doing? Because those aren't the same thing, right? Because you know there's stupid things that you're doing that you're just not going to quit doing because you like them. But there might be something on the edge there where you could stop that.
If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more. And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
Suffering introduces a man to his highest self. Put yourself under pressure, to put yourself under stress for a long period of time to prepare yourself for the upcoming year.
Alex Hormozi is the guy that I think taught me most about nudging your view of activation energy from just being something which has to be positive sum to being able to use something which is actually a really negative fuel source to kick you out of the bottom. So his idea is people need some sort of motivation, some sort of justification to make changes. Most people have way more pain than they do pleasure. Use what you have.
Right.
Do whatever it is that you do for work, come home and freaking work on yourself. Step 1 is you decide what the action is, and step 2 is you do it every single day for 100 days. Don't allow yourself to make all of the BS excuses that come up, because some of you guys are like, yes, this is awesome, I can do it. And there's a portion of people listening right now, they're like, I don't know if I can do that. But Rob, you don't know my life. Oh, but you don't know my schedule, right? So don't make excuses. Don't self-sabotage. Do that one thing every single day for 100 days.
When you're nothing, and change yourself into something like me, you call it happiness, peace, whatever the fuck you want to call it. People are missing exactly what went on with David Goggins. Why don't you smile? I do. But I figured something out. That's why you'll never hear me say I'm missing something. I found it years ago. You find it in the suck. You find it in the suck, and you find it repeatedly in the suck, to the point where you know exactly who you are. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are.
The desire for instant gratification. We live in a world of instant everything. Instant messages, instant food, instant entertainment. And this has conditioned us to expect instant results in everything we do. But let me tell you something. Real lasting success doesn't happen overnight. It's not about instant gratification. It's about delayed gratification. It's about being willing to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most.
Successful people are not that smart. They're not smarter than everybody else. Whatever success means to you, whether that's great parents or whether that's tons of money or whether it's great business owners or the happiest people you can find, whatever success means to you. Successful people are the most consistent people. They're not smarter. They don't have better willpower most of the time. They've just decided to be consistent. They wake up every single day and they do the things that they need to do in order to get them from where they are to where they want to be.
You're going to run into challenges in life, and if you curl up into a ball and complain about it, that's not going to help you. And if you say, okay, cool, good, here's some adjustments I can make to move forward, that's going to be a better move than cowering.
And what I tell people all the time, a lot of people can't get started in their first 90 days because they're stuck in perfectionist mode.
That's right.
And I tell like if you put me against perfectionist, I can be perfectionist any day of the week.
Yes, sir.
Because things will never be perfect.
Yes, sir. I like
trying to get the first perfect article. And that perfectionism never happens, and it hinders too many entrepreneurs from really growing to the stage that they should.
Right.
But I'll never remember, like, being a teenager, walking past a newsstand and seeing that magazine and then reading inside the stories of entrepreneurs that looked like me.
Wow.
That had grown $100 million companies, billion-dollar companies, and just creating a link that, hey, guess what? If they did it, I can too.
I love that.
And I still didn't know how, but sometimes before you know how, you just have to know that it's possible. Then once I know that it's possible, I can figure out how and the steps to actually do it.
Life will deal you tremendous blows. That's the game. That's the challenge. It will put hurdles in front of you. You want to make $1 million? You want to find love? If these things were easy, everybody would have them. And therefore, once you know those things are expected, you realize that the only superpower to really have is to be unaffected by them. So if you want a wife, that means women will reject you, because on the path to finding the right one, you will find a woman who doesn't perceive you to be the right one. And once you know that's part of the game, I always say, welcome to the jungle. If you're affected by the fact that some women aren't attracted to you, you shouldn't be playing the game. Become a monk, become celibate. If you are somebody who wants to make $1 million or $100 million, everybody does. So what separates out the people? What separates, they call it, the wheat from the chaff? I actually have an organic farm. I grow my own wheat, organically grown. And what you do, you let it dry on the stalk. And then come July, August, we come through. I used to do it with the Amish. I lived with them for 2.5 years with the thrashing machine, old fashioned with horses. But now you have modern equipment. What's the modern equipment do? It shakes the wheat. And then all the fluffy dust blows off to the side, and all that's left is the real wheat, the actual useful part. And that's the same in life. You want to make $1 million, you're going to be shaken by things. You might be betrayed by a business partner. You might have an employee betray you. You might have a business go bankrupt, an idea of yours fail. If that affects you, don't even start on the path to trying to make $1 million to $100 million. Don't even start.
For the voice in my head, we all have this voice. It's the right or wrong voice. And a lot of times that voice guides us into comfort. And my voice guided me into comfort a lot. But I have this other voice I heard my whole life saying, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing? Nah, man, we gotta go over here. We gotta go over here to that rock pile over in the fucking corner where nobody's at. That's where victory's at. We're over in that corner. So this voice was giving me all these answers. Now, I wasn't a real smart kid growing up, but I had this crazy voice in my head saying, over there is where the fucking answers are. And I didn't want to listen to it because over there was pain. Over there was me looking in the mirror. Over there was me being accountable for all these things I went through my life. Even though people put them on me, it's now mine to own. And I didn't want to go over there by myself, but I had to. And this voice was guiding me there. It's God, whatever you want to call it. But that's what it was in me. Life is one big psychological warfare that you play on yourself. You play on yourself, man. The most important conversation I ever had is with myself. And the shit I was telling myself was so fucked up, it was so wrong, it was so misguided. And other people start to write that dialogue for you also. And it starts to be what you say to yourself every single day. And I started creating a whole nother warfare. A whole nother battle started becoming. I was like, oh, hang on a second, guys. You have these tools. You have these tools. Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles, it was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go. And that's how I started looking at my life versus woe is me, poopy pants, kick a rock down the street mentality. It was, God just hooked you right the fuck up. He hooked you right up, man, with the perfect place. You were training. You have the advantage of everybody else versus, my God, they're so above me. They came from a great family. Mom and dad love them. They didn't have to learn, they didn't stutter, they didn't struggle. No, man, your struggle is what made you who you are now. Self-discipline is everything. And if you don't have it, I don't look at you right because I know you're capable of more. It's not discipline so much for me. It's all on you. It's all on you. The self part is what's big. We need someone to hold people accountable. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. We count on people too much to get us through shit. And we look to our right, we look to our left, we're looking for help. And if you can build that self, you can build that total accountability in oneself. And it's not about being selfish. I'm trying to create a better me. So hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way, can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 fucking miles, doing 4, being a city. It ain't about all that shit. Shit doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go. And that's all it's about, yourself. And that's where it all comes from. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. It's fucking me against me, period. And so I had to man up. And I said, the first thing I gotta start doing is facing every fucking fear I have. No matter what the fuck it is, man. And these things would keep me up at night. No one, people who are hearing this shit, they will never really understand and grasp when you face these things and so many things, how they keep you up and haunt you at night. I had two options. To either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, and at 24 years old, knowing when I'm 50 fucking years old, I can reflect on this and think about what guy I never became, or I can totally just sack it up and fail and fail and fail until I succeed. So I started calling recruiters up. I said, I'm gonna go be a fucking Navy SEAL. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are. They never examine themselves. They've never done this experiment on themselves. The lab rat, we're all lab rats, but you're also the scientist. You create your own self. Most people are missing something because there's so much trapped in there. I don't even want to say potential. I think that's a word used out too much too. There's so much in you that God or wherever the hell you believe in, or if you're atheist, in you, that you have not unlocked. God, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, because it's about 75% of you is still fucking in there. Still chained up. Because you just didn't want to find your willpower. Didn't want to find your soul, your will, your heart, your determination, your guts, your courage. And what that looks like, it looks scary. Like your little scary lab I went in. Scary. To wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. Versus saying, man, I just can't do that. So you limit this box. So your box becomes so small of things you can do. My box wasn't even a box. It was a fucking little pinhole. And then, through examining myself, getting some willpower, some courage, it became bigger than this table. But that's what we all do. That's why I wanted to come here today and talk to you about real shit. Not no fucking hacks. There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. Real problem. I can understand you misunderstand me running down the street, shirt off, fuck this, yeah. I can get it. I get it. If you misunderstand what I'm saying right now today, the problem is you. And you don't want to fix it. I developed a lot of anger, and I still have it. And it will never go away. Because when you put yourself in the sewer like I was in, and please, if someone saved me, come out and announce it to the world. There was no one. There's no one. So when you know that, and then I'm sitting at a table with all these smart people who are telling me what to do and shit and guiding me through my life now, I don't need you to guide my future. I know what's good for me and what's bad for me. And for me, it took every bit of focus I could. And I know social media, that's why people love to go on there. Because they want to show you the good side of life. I'm not teaching good side of life. So I had to figure out a way when I came on in 2016 of teaching you what life really is for the majority of us is hell. And so while people love to show you the cars and the house and the vacations and shit, all that's good, all that's happy. I'm gonna show you the side that I know most of you are going through. And people hide very well. I don't wanna hide anymore. I hid it for 24 fucking years. I'm gonna teach you how to be vulnerable. Because that's the only way you fix yourself. You don't fix yourself by coming out here in me selling you some fucking books. That's why I don't have them. I forgot them. I'm glad people got something from the book. I want you to learn that the only way you grow is how to look at yourself and say, okay, like I did, what the fuck I have to do to get somewhere? There was nothing good on there. Nothing. Yeah, I love playing basketball. I left that out. That's something I love to do. I don't care about that. That didn't make the fucking list. Because the list that I had to live by was the very list that was to get me at this table with you. And a lot of us have this voice in our head. We all know that voice in our head that tells us the truth every single day that we try to run away from, that says we're scared of this, let's go this way. It started gnawing at me so horribly bad that it wouldn't allow me to live anymore without facing me. I had to go back in the dungeon. So when I tell my story, I tell it on a very surface level. I had to go down in the dungeon, the sewer where my mind used to be at, and talk to that guy. Because I wanted to live my life in a way that when I died, I was proud of myself. I knew what pride felt like. And if it took pushing myself to death, I was willing to do that. I wanted to look in that mirror, not impress anybody, not money, not fame, not nothing. I wanted to impress the guy in the daggone mirror. And I worked endlessly and tirelessly to do that. And it happened. It's too hard. Life isn't fair. These things in life are not easy for me. You look to your left, and you look to your right, and you start to judge yourself off other people. Like if you're a female, well, she's skinny and she doesn't work out as hard as I do, and everything starts to corrupt your mind. You start to look around too much at other people and what they're doing, and that starts to corrupt your own dialogue. We are judging ourselves against too many fucking people. You have to judge yourself against yourself. And that's the one thing I started learning, man. This isn't a race against me and Rich Roll. This is a race against David Goggins and David Goggins alone. And once you can silence all that bullshit, all the outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow and realizing I'm stressed out for no reason. This is my own little race. This is my own timeline, and this is how I'm gonna run it. You're willing to suffer and go back in the grind. That internal dialogue you have with yourself when you're in misery and you're uncomfortable, it's a real, scary, unfiltered, no lying dialogue between you and yourself. And people know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about when you're in a bad spot in life and your mind is saying all kind of shit. That's who you really are. That's the real you. No Rocky Balboa moments going on up there. You're like, hey, you know, it's round 14. Let's come on, we got this. No, it's like, fuck this, I'm out of here, man. This is crazy. That's where the growth happens. When you're able to stay in that moment and talk yourself back into the suck of wherever you're going through, and you start stripping those layers away, but as you're stripping those layers away, you're building calluses over top of shit in your mind. That's where the growth starts to happen, is when you have to force yourself to stay in it. You can't leave it. Every day is gonna suck. And live like that, to be better. And I put it this way, I'm in the water's going over my head, the Pacific Ocean, you know it's freezing. February, cold as shit. Been through 3 hell weeks. For you to constantly win, when this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the fuck out of here. Go. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. And it's true. People don't hear that. That's a true voice. That's the real reality of David Goggins at 24 years old. It's not a false reality. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. And you're in the freezing cold water that both voices don't want to fucking be in. But you win. And it goes from the water to the studying, to the running, to losing weight, to how you eat, to how you function as a man. Every day of your life, you're winning these battles. And the thing about it is, you have to be really, and sometimes all the voices are telling you the wrong shit, man. But through years, not a podcast or listening to a book or reading a book. Years of sacrifice, of suffering, of diligent, pinpoint fucking work on what you want to do for yourself. Not like, oh, let me just do a bunch of shit. I want to be in every task possible. No. Pinpoint what I want to do with my life. What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're fucked up and this is gonna be hard, but for some reason, you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna fucking make it and still be able to fucking make it. Because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no. But you still have the conviction that I know I can do this. And that's what it took for me to get here. 30 years ago, 25 years ago, pipe dream. And ever since then, every voice was like, you're fucking nuts. But when you put that practice in, every day you lace them up, and I don't mean run, it's just a metaphor for life. You lace them motherfuckers up every day, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll fucking win. There's so much peace in knowing what I've accomplished and what I've done. I found peace years ago. Years ago. In the battle you find peace. When you go to war with yourself, you find a lot of peace because you know exactly who you are. And that is where the peace is really found for me.
The greatest superpower is to be unaffected by anything or anyone. To have such thick skin, you're basically always unbothered. My